It's its own little ecosystem. Creatures of every type. What is up, everybody, and welcome into the DNVR Nuggets pregame show. Yeah, we must be feeling good.
It's a Friday Monday, you know what I mean?
It's a Friday Monday. So for you it is. For you it is.
Oh, yeah.
Dev and I, it's just a Monday. It's just a Monday. It's actually a rainy Monday, which I'm going to be honest with you guys, I enjoyed deeply today.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I definitely did not.
I loved it.
Saw a new bird in the yard today.
Oh, my God.
New bird, never seen it before.
What's the best birding season from a
Well,
amateur bird?
Well, there's two
birdist?
migrations, right, coming down and then going back up. And right now, we are really in a great moment for migrations. So,
there we go.
You know, could be that. I don't know.
There we go.
Could be the rain. Dev's always like trying to figure out if it's real or not. He's just we doing a bit.
I'm in a bit for sure.
We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you because I know you're trying to show off the shoes here.
Ooh, those are
Aren't they some fire? That's what I was saying, man.
Told you guys, I'm turning a new leaf. Don't underestimate me.
Those are wild, for real.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Brendan Vogt turning a new leaf, matching shirt.
The latest
shoe.
New Balance signee.
Honest to God, you're 10 out of 10 today, man.
Thanks, man. Something's never changed, though, like the length of your legs.
Oh, that is true. I'll try to go this way here.
Yeah.
I'll go over here. We've also got the old man back.
Yeah.
Harrison Wynn, fresh off of celebrating his birthday in blackout fashion.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Don't be so judgy.
I don't
Don't be so
actually.
judgy.
I don't know if you were. I just assumed you were. I don't know.
Okay, well, I was out of town last weekend. Spent a lot of money, so the pressure's on for Dev to earn me a lot of that money back today. So pressure's on.
All right, let's do this.
The denim daddy over here. It's superstar Dev.
Hey, no thighs out today. I'm feeling regular. I'm feeling normal. I actually love this type of weather. It makes me feel good.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you need rainy days to appreciate the sunny days. You need the sunny days to appreciate the rainy days. We get them both. We got some game notes because tonight, a little bit of a big game. A little bit.
You could say that.
You could say that. Anytime the Lakers or you're in town to play the Lakers, it's a big one. Game notes. Who has them? I forgot already.
I got it.
You were looking at me the whole time, but it's definitely Vogt.
All right, Vogt. What do we got?
Jared Dudley is out.
Oh, wow.
Now we have a chance.
Have the lines
Everyone
adjusted
breathe.
yet? Or
Yeah,
are
I
they
don't know.
the
Check
same?
the lines.
Think
Check
they're
the
off.
lines.
Okay. Actually did.
That's no, I had to start there.
Okay.
Dennis Schroeder, he's out.
Oh, I love that you're building a suspense here. What
10 to
else?
14 days, health and safety protocols.
That's right. He has revealed that he did not get the COVID vaccine. Here he is, going to be out to the playoffs.
Another guy did not get the COVID vax.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, per
Probably. Is the
Per
quote.
Dennis Schroeder,
Per Dennis
per
Schroeder.
translation.
Per not going to be a Laker next season, Dennis Schroeder. LeBron James, he's out. Not COVID. Ankle, that high ankle sprain on the right foot. I guess he came back too early, guys. He's out tonight. And then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is probable. Caruso's day-to-day.
I like that you called him pulp. It's like he's orange juice.
My first time speaking English. Anthony Davis is also probable. Marcus Gasol is probable. More like doubtful at this point just because of the way his season's gone. And Kyle Kuzma is probable.
So this is interesting. And then for Denver, of course.
Monte Morris, Will Barton still out. And Zeke Naji, I think, is questionable with a left ankle sprain.
Yeah, Monte's getting closer, though. Not in the next couple of games, Malone said, but in the next couple games after that. So I guess like 3 to 5 games, hopefully, is when he'll come back. When the team gets back to Denver, he said they'll have a better idea, but he's getting closer.
When the season's so close to being done that, I mean, you're starting to talk about the difference between him having 1, 2 games, 3, 4 games. It sounds like maybe not more than that. Maybe 5 games really speeds back, and it's just not that much time to build a chemistry and figure out your rotation. Let's be honest. The Nuggets have been at their best over the last several years when they've been so down that there's no question about who's playing. And I do wonder, even just the addition of Monte Morris, you have to assume that means, is Shaq Harrison out? Is Austin Rivers out? Do they know? Are they constantly wondering about their minutes? It adds a layer of uncertainty that hopefully the Nuggets get as many games as possible to work that out. But I want to talk about LeBron James rolling his ankle again, or hurting his ankle again. To me, this is a pretty significant thing. We knew they had a back-to-back. They've got another back-to-back later this week. They're kind of in that death point of the season that the Nuggets were a couple weeks ago when they lost everyone. I think it's meaningful and significant that he can't play tonight and might be out for a little bit of time.
Well, yeah, what's really significant is that I think it was either him or just some reporting around this that he's probably not going to be 100% again.
It was him. That was him that said that.
It was him
yeah.
saying it. Even, if he rests it and comes back in a couple games, rests it until the playoffs, with a high ankle sprain, it's just an injury that you're not going to be 100% on until next season.
That's an off-season
so
heal.
It's really, really significant.
LeBron, look, go ahead.
A big part about that is they really did need him last night, and he could not play.
Yeah,
which means that he physically could not play. It's not like they're just being cautious or anything.
They need him tonight too.
That was a game they desperately needed him. Then they need him tonight. They're going to need him pushing forward. They just kind of like it's like just a down point for them. And it's a happy place to be in, to just see the Lakers not doing well and to just have to figure out the same things that so many other teams have had to figure out every single year. I think it's amazing chaos.
And to me, guys, this is like, when you talk about LeBron getting older, like this is the stuff that's going to come first, right? Not a drop off in how talented he is. But LeBron used to, in my opinion, infamously, roll his ankle his ankle would touch the floor. He's back in 12 minutes. Yeah. That gets harder to do for any human being, even him, at this age, at this basketball age.
And to me, it reminds myself, and look, I don't root for anybody to get injured. I would like LeBron to be back and healthy. I want the Nuggets to beat a full-strength Lakers team. To me, it reminds a little bit of even Kevin Durant, 2 years ago. I'm not fully healthy, but I'm going to have to go back. Like, of all years, this year, where it's going to be the playoffs every other night, they got a back-to-back later this week. Like, LeBron has a real choice to make of, do I up the team's odds of avoiding that play-in? Thank God. But then you get up and either play Denver or the Clippers. That's like no cakewalk. Yeah. Or do I go down to the play-in, and all of a sudden now I'm in a do-or-die situation. We haven't had that much chemistry. Schroeder's out, so he's probably going to be back for the first time during the play-in. LeBron, there's just so many variables with them that you have to think that they are feeling a little sweaty. Palms are sweaty here as they kind of approach the end of the season, and it's wild how much that happened. But it brings me to this. What are we talking about? The Lakers are facing adversity. Every team in the NBA, minus the Phoenix Suns, who have somehow not, and credit to them, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Phoenix Suns, but they're like the one team that have not been bit by the injury bug so far this season. Every team has had to deal with adversity. The Nuggets, our Nuggets, lost Jamal Murray. They lost Monte Morris, his backup. They lost Will Barton, and guess what happened? A 9-1 run over the last 10 games since that happened. Michael Malone, we were always talked about it, the game right after Murray goes down, the Nuggets win. Malone's furious in the postgame, and it's like, hey, Malone, take it easy, man. Like, team just overcame an obstacle. No. Why? Because he's a no-excuse sort of general, and they're not going to allow this. What did we see last night? LeBron, the play-in is dumb. This season is stupid. This season, there's everything. There's just so many excuses coming out of the Lakers last night. And look, they have a right. They have a right to air some of these. But I got to say, 0-2 since LeBron came back, and it doesn't feel like such a coincidence. That's a team that's frustrated and seems more focused on their frustrations. Am I reading too much into this, Harrison?
You're not. And we always joke about the vibes. We always joke about the vibes on this show. The vibes within the Denver Nuggets, even with the injuries that have happened, Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Will Barton, the vibes have always stayed positive.
Yeah.
And Michael Malone has set the tone with that. Nikola Jokic, every press conference that he's been in has been hyping up the guys at the end of this rotation, at the end of this roster. The vibes have been positive, and the leaders of the Nuggets have done a lot of legwork to make them remain that way. For the Lakers, I mean, the vibes have never been worse.
Yeah.
The vibes have never been worse. And then you see this kind of this stuff kind of start to seep out and whatnot. And it's not surprising because the Nuggets have a lot of experience handling adversity, a ton. The Lakers,
it's their defining trait.
It is.
And I like that you said, and the Lakers don't.
This is their first time doing it.
I also think
by design.
There's an outside perspective that the Nuggets like easily lose their composure. And look, I suppose that the Nuggets can get off to suboptimal starts, right? They can start slow. They're susceptible to taking one or two on the chin. But, what does composure mean if not how one responds when their backs are right up against the wall? Yeah. This is a team that's built their entire playoff resume basically off that dynamic. And we're seeing it again this year, time and time again with each injury.
I love to see the shift with the Lakers because when the whole bubble came about, they were one of the only teams pushing for the bubble. Everyone else is saying no, like there's like complications down the road that could change. Looking into this year, they're like, if we push it back, or if we like push it back, we don't have to like play so many games and it could work out. But since it was in LeBron's like in his favor and the Lakers were favored and everything was going well, they pushed for it to happen. And now it's starting to bite them like now. And you're starting to see the same excuses that other teams were trying to say, but they were like, this is what was going to happen. And now they're going through it. And you see a whole shift from that whole Laker organization. You don't want anyone to have to go through any injuries, But these are the things that everyone was saying. Right. These were what the experts were saying. Everyone was talking about how this year would be so tough. And now that LeBron is on it, he's like the guy that when you go to like the park and he loses, he takes his ball with him. That's what he's acting like right now. And it's wild to see for me.
And I think it's important to like differentiate what we're talking about in this moment, the context of right now with the Lakers, and separate that from LeBron. LeBron's been incredibly resilient. The 2016 finals were one of the most like toughest, don't never give up. We're going to do like he has proven this time and time again. I'm talking about right now in this situation, because we're in an era where so many superstars are throwing away this aspect of the game. We're seeing it with the Brooklyn Nets. I've talked about this a lot, but they've honestly just punted this entire regular season because they're like, we're good enough and none of that other stuff matters. And it sucks. But right now the Lakers, through some very bad luck, are being forced to, you don't get the free pass that you wanted, where it doesn't matter what we do because we're so good, we're going to just come together when it matters and get into the playoffs. They don't get that luxury now, and I just think it's funny that they are handling this specific moment, in my opinion, very poorly. Now we're going to see tonight. They're missing LeBron. They're missing Schroeder. Like, they're going to rely on Anthony Davis, who's just looked like he hasn't had it. Maybe tonight he comes out and kicks ass. I don't know. But I do think it is important, honestly important, for people like us and other journalists to point out, hey, the going's getting tough, and look at these guys. Every post-game presser is not about the game, not about the rebounding, not about the shooting. It's about, this play-in's unfair. This is that unfair. And I kind of laugh.
That's it. It's the quotes, right? Like, we're talking about injury problems. I mean, losing LeBron and AD at the same time is as bad as it gets on that front. But again, the response, the vibe, these post-game questions, like Jamal Murray, he did not throw a public pity party for himself. And if you ask Jamal
Murray, Nuggets' 6th game in 9 days. Like, they had every right to play that card. I played it. And they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at them if they did play it. Like, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you ask Michael Malone, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, the goal has not changed. The goal has not changed. And if you ask LeBron James, if he's not 100%, then it doesn't matter what seed the Lakers are. It's all futile.
Right.
Well, the other quote that came out last night was Kyle Kuzma on Marc Gasol, and saying, I wish we could get a little more time out there with Mark. That would be something that would be good for us.
Pulled an MPJ.
Right.
Publicly criticizing the team.
Right. That was awesome.
Right.
Especially when you have a player in Drummond. Drummond comes in and it just like changes everything. And then you have a guy that you really believe in. Yeah. You know that's Kuzma's guy. Like, you wouldn't just go to bat for him out loud. But it's also like a dig at the front office or whoever is playing, the coaching, whatever the case may be. For you to go out and call out a player that is not playing as of late out of nowhere, that's petty, and I love it. I love this all.
It is kind of funny. It just points to a little bit of turmoil in Lakerland. And I mean, look, this playoffs, it was like last year. Remember last year? We did the whole campaign around the Astros, and it was like, whoever wins it, we're not going to talk trash. The Lakers won it last year. We didn't talk trash about, it's a Mickey Mouse. Because I honestly believed it was one of those ones where it was going to take an extra layer of mental resolve. And I think this year is similar to that, too. This year, it counts for a little extra. A lot of people want to discount it and say, the COVID year, this or that. No, I'm sorry. It takes extra focus because every team is going to be faced with this level of adversity. The Lakers have like 10 days to sort out their mind because they're handling it. And I'm just it makes you more impressed with Jokic, who has, as Michael Malone went in depth today in the pregame, talking about he had no idea when the season was going to start, but he stayed in great shape. He got married, had a wedding, and a honeymoon, all these things.
Big summer.
Still stayed in great shape. Came back in the season, and I just think you get extra bonus points for that. The Lakers went to the finals last year. They've fallen apart. The Celtics went to the conference finals last year. They've been terrible. Miami, same thing. Yeah. The Nuggets, actually, it should be a credit to them that they've been able to handle as much adversity and gone as far as they did with as short of an offseason and done it. I think that deserves a little
attention. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. I really just think if we take a step back, 9-1 without Jamal Murray, it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's not just without Jamal Murray. It's Facundo Campazzo, Shaquille Harrison, and Austin Rivers.
right.
I mean,
yeah. Nobody knows these guys. Like, that's what's cool about Shaq Harrison. And I guess everybody knows Austin Rivers because he played in L.A. and he's Doc Rivers' son. But like, there's a lot of NBA fans out there that when they'll sit and see, they're like, Austin Rivers on the Nuggets? Like, who is this Shaq guy? Like, what is going on here? I've never heard of this guy before. And that's Denver's key players at the moment. Keep rolling. Hopefully they can keep it rolling tonight. It does bring us, LeBron's complaint, though, was about the play-in tournament. And it's funny because The Mavericks, we never heard a complaint about it. They fall into the play-in. Mark Cuban comes out with his comment. Last night, LeBron says, first of all, he's trying to get a guy fired. I'm sure some dude making $40,000 a year. LeBron's over here upset because he's going to have to miss some games. He's like, this guy fired.
It would be pretty funny if it was just one guy. It obviously wasn't.
It's just, everybody's like, Larry, what the hell, Larry?
It's actually just really Adam Silver sitting in the room like, whoa.
But, all of a sudden it's become a talking point. I thought we were past this. I thought the play-in, it was definitive. It was a positive. But now here we are talking about whether or not it's a good
with
thing
each
or not.
new team that suddenly finds themselves. And look, to some extent, I get that. I really, really do. But
what do you get about it?
Just that, like, not from an objective veil of ignorance standpoint, from an emotional fandom standpoint. If the Nuggets caught even somehow worse injury luck and they were just right on the verge of that play-in, I mean, wouldn't we feel some frustration?
It would suck, but it would also suck to miss the playoffs or whatever. Like any situation where you fell below what you thought.
Like
but
Jokic missing games to get you to that point.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, any of that sucks. But here's the thing is, here's the biggest thing about the play-in. It's not actually the race for the actual play-in itself, although I think it's going to be fascinating. Are you kidding me? The Lakers might play the Warriors in the play-in. This would be the greatest.
Oh, incredible.
It'll be the top playoff
Huge
game
success.
of the entire year. Yeah. But no matter what, I even look at the Eastern Conference and I look at Washington. What a great story the Wizards are this year, because they've been ravaged by injuries and COVID and everything else, and yet here they are in the 10 seed with a real legitimate chance to go in. And wouldn't you rather see the Washington Wizards go up against the Bucks or the 76ers or Nets in the first round? That's a team with an edge that has. So I think that even if we throw out some of the auxiliary things, I just like the idea that the Washington Wizards still have a chance. The Golden State Warriors still have a chance, and to me, that's a positive. Forget about fair. If you want fair, be a top 6 seed. It's not that hard.
I love the play-in. I love everything about the play-in. I'm a huge play-in guy because it's made the end of the regular season exciting.
Put it on the list, Kale.
Yeah.
Statues,
put it down. Put it on the list.
Play-in games.
Dude, this time of year in a normal 82-game regular season, that's the other thing. The fact that it's 72 games and it's condensed, it doesn't allow as much time as usual for kind of everybody to separate and some guys to go to the bottom, some teams to rise to the top. But usually now, these games are so meaningless. Like, there's a little jockeying for seeding, but it's so interesting now. There's so much going on with the play-in. I love it. I love the drama. I love people complaining about it. Let's keep it forever.
I don't love people complaining about it.
I'm on the same thing as Harrison. Like, I really do love it. If you ask a non-casual NBA fan, like when they start watching, they're going to say the playoffs. They don't want to watch the regular season, and they damn sure don't want to watch the end of the regular season. More time is spent on Tankathon than it is watching the games typically. But right now, the regular season matters. The whole season matters because you want to avoid getting into that spot. So now you're not able to rest these guys like that, like they have been the entire time. Now you have to like win these games and try to win the series early in the year, or it comes back to bite you. The teams that are upset right now are the teams that usually have everything going for them. So they're privileged, so they don't know how to respond to this now that they're on the outside looking in. But when they were on the inside, you never heard anything about it. So there's teams that are not, like that are in the play-in game that they're like, we have something to play for. We're going to play harder. Yeah. That would have given up a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then what does that do for anybody?
Right.
I think if this was a regular year, like take New Orleans, for example, they're a bit back of San Antonio, 2.5 games. I don't know if they'll make the play-in, probably not, but Zion Williamson might be shut down right now.
Totally would be.
For the rest of the regular season.
Because he is,
it's a great point.
Yeah, I guess he's only 4 games out of the East and 3 games out of the 10 seed. So,
but we'd be getting very close to that point.
Okay, alternatively, just for this 1 year though, should Zion Williamson be shutting it down right now? I'm just saying the short off season, 72 games. No. And then doing all of this just to make more bad teams play. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Yeah. No, because the point is it's an entertainment thing. And the moment it becomes, well, it's actually better if we don't entertain you tonight. Like, it's okay. Our product is broken. This is still a business. And if the business model is we actually should give you a worse product tonight, then there's something wrong with it. And I think that most years, you were hitting on this a little bit, Harrison, most years there's 2 or 3 races going on. Maybe it's the battle for the top seed, or the 4-5 is a battle, or this or that. Right now, if we look at it, you go to the Western Conference, the 1 seed, Both the Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz have 18 losses. They are tied right now. It's a battle. You go to the Clippers and Nuggets, 21-22. That's a battle. You go to the 5, 6, 7 seed, 28 losses. That's a battle. You go further down now and you talk 8, 9, 10. You're battling for home court. That's a battle. Just in the Western Conference, there's 4 or 5 battles going on. That's great. That's why everybody's still playing. And the same thing if you go to the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia, 21 losses. Brooklyn, 22. Milwaukee's just almost out of it at 24, but that's still 3 teams that are battling for something. So, to me, you've created all of this, and you've taken away tanking. Of course it's a great thing. I'm sorry that the injury bug hit you this year, as it usually doesn't, Los Angeles Lakers. But guess what? Everybody had to battle this, and it makes the league more entertaining. It makes the league more competitive. It's a positive. I'm surprised more people don't. I'm surprised this is even controversial.
It's only controversial probably because the Lakers are potentially in it.
Yeah.
I bet if the Lakers were at the top of the West, there would be a much higher approval rating.
Do you hate the one-game playoff in baseball?
I kind of do.
But before that, though, it was only like 4 teams in the playoffs, right?
Here's the thing. I hate it if my favorite team is playing.
Totally, yeah.
But outside of that, the final stretch of that season is considerably more entertaining. It's also a 162-game season.
Yeah, it's a really long season.
No, look,
they still don't have that many teams in the playoffs. It still blows my mind.
I'm just trying to play some devil's advocate here. The truth is, I love anything that has us caring about the regular season, talking about the regular season. I mean, you guys are right that we do need to try to get away from who cares. The doldrums in the NBA regular season, awfully long stretch of time, isn't it? Yeah.
And I just hope the regular season becomes about team building, about chemistry building. And it just seems like those things are so unimportant. And now teams are being faced with, oh, crap, now I have to build up Talen Horton-Tucker so that empower him to be good. Damn it, I didn't want this. I just wanted to be good enough that it didn't matter. Sorry.
Yeah. The one
Shaq Harrison's been empowered, and now he's playing great.
The one tweak I would probably make is, look, if the 10-seeded Spurs were like 5 or more games back of the 8 seed or something, then maybe it's like, okay, that's a pretty big distance. Like, is the regular season like not even worth anything anymore?
Right.
Like, maybe if there's that big of a gap, kind of like there was in the bubble, there was like a play-in contingency, then maybe that team wouldn't qualify for the play-in. But the Spurs are only, a game back of the Memphis Grizzlies, who are the 8 seed. So it's fine now.
That was Malone's take, by the way, today. He was asked about it, and he said the only thing is that he liked the conditional play-in more. Now, you both pointed out maybe this year that wouldn't have reared its head anyway. But just
I do think that's fair.
As a general note, yeah, I think that's fair. He also brought up the point that he thinks it's a little bit unfair for coaches.
It is. This is a great point.
Who can really just be put on the chopping block for some things that could easily have swung the other way.
The other thing is the first and second seed now doesn't know who they play. So if Denver is the 3 seed,
right,
they're going to know and have like 4 or 5 days to prepare, whereas the 1 and 2 seed are going to be like, I don't know, we got Memphis or Golden State. So different.
So if you lose in the play-in game, you're not a playoff team. You did not make the playoffs that year.
Right.
In a typical year, if you slip in with the 8 seed, you're a coach, you go, yeah, I made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? Like now you can lose 1 game at the end of the season. Suddenly you're not a playoff team. Like that's a big resume
that can
builder
lose you
for
your
coaches.
job. That can lose you your job.
The one thing, and then we'll move on, but the one thing that I think is funny about this is when writers or even fans are complaining about the playing, because I'm thinking, do you not want to watch basketball? Do you not want, I always think it's so funny when fans take themselves out of their own perspective and into the player, like, they're not getting paid extra for paying this extra game guy. Like, wait. What? You're worried about the one guy and not all the millions of fans consuming it? Yeah. If you're a fan, of course you want to watch the play. I want to watch the Washington Wizards. They're on fire right now. You're kidding me? I want to watch them against LaMelo. That'd be a great series.
Totally.
If we get Curry versus LeBron, are you kidding me? Planning my whole week around it.
One of my biggest issues with this league is how little so many stars have to play for large stretches, if not the entirety of their career. So that's why, even though I was one of the few people who was sort of into that midseason tournament idea, just give me more reasons to watch the best players on the league feel inclined to compete, feel inclined to have a moment, even if that moment is something less than the ultimate goal.
And I have one last thing to say about this, actually. J.A. Adonde had a tweet today. I think J.A. Adonde is one of the GOATs. True journalist, entertaining personality. I met him in person. He was the nicest dude on earth. I love it, J.A. Adonde. But he said the quiet part out loud here when he said, earlier this morning, he said, if one of Curry or LeBron gets sent home because of the play-in, then somebody maybe isn't fired, but they will have to change things. And I'm thinking, why? If it's fair, it's fair. It doesn't matter if it's fair to your moneymaker, this or that. Like, we used to disguise this stuff. We used to be like, well, the league would like this. Now it's somebody should get fired if LeBron doesn't make the playoffs. Like, what are we doing
Well,
here?
it's trouble for a league that, from a marketing standpoint, is caught in their old ways and doesn't want to adjust and wants to keep doubling down on the same formula that they've done for the last couple of years. And for what we all think is a progressive league in some aspects, they don't want to change that. They don't want to go away from what they think is working.
The one thing.
It should be, honestly, it should be a great thing for the league because it should be like a pivot point for them in terms of, we got the Utah Jazz, we got the Phoenix Suns, we got the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
Instead,
they don't know how to sell it.
It's a league trying to do
I
the
do
same
have
old
one
thing.
way that they could probably fix this, though, and get people to care. Merge Marvel graphics onto the game and just get a synergy going between comic books and broadcasts. Then people will love. I don't know. I'm just trying to spitball ideas here, guys. Terrible ideas.
The casual fan, the much vilified casual fan, which I think is dumb.
NBA or Marvel? What type of fan?
NBA.
Okay.
They should enter a playoffs knowing what they need to know on a base level. Like, I can miss a lot of the NFL season, and I can understand, like, for example, all right, like this Tennessee Titans team, this is their identity. They play this way.
Right,
I know about Derrick Henry.
Right.
Like, why can't the NBA just be like, yo, here's why this Utah team whips so much ass?
You know who agrees with you? Kobe Bryant. And that's why I always come back to it, because people will complain about this. I'm like, guys, Kobe himself was like, we're drowning ourselves here in this thing. Let's move on, though, to happier topics, which include Superstar Dev making money for everybody watching right now. The best bets on DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's hear them.
So what's funny is you guys said that did Jared Dudley change the line? Yes, he did change the line when he got put out.
You heard it here first.
The Lakers were favored more now. So now it changed it 2 points actually. It started I'm saying it started at -6 for the Lakers, or +6. Now it's at +4, which for some reason they feel like the Lakers are stronger without Jared Dudley. So I think that's pretty funny. But -4, I feel very, very comfortable in the Nuggets whipping ass today. I really do. I feel like this is one that they like truly believe in. There is profit boost, 100% profit boost.
100%.
Where? I
So
don't see a profit boost.
you could use it on the money line if you want to like take it the right way. But I really do think that the Nuggets whip ass today. I do. Going over to player props.
I love that you just said that.
One of the things that really does stand out, which I have no idea what DraftKings is doing, is
look at this.
Jokic is down somehow in points tonight. He's at 25.5. He's usually at 27.5. What makes you think he's not going to just destroy besides them blowing them out?
Well, I think they're going to key in on him, and they have the guys to do it. Marc Gasol, Anthony Davis, they're going to throw some bodies at him. Also, as I put out yesterday, desperate game that the league does not want LeBron in the play-in. Jokic might foul out in 5 minutes tonight. I'm just saying. Might happen. We'll see.
Okay.
I think Vegas might be betting on this, too.
The Michael Porter Jr., 22.5. Easy. Take it. That is a lock.
Really?
22.5.
Easy.
Yes. He has Kyle Kuzma that's going to guard him.
Is this my profit boost?
I mean, that's very easy.
You're right, dude. That's really low for the way he's been playing right now and what they need.
He's been playing out of his mind. He got that against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. He now goes against Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma.
This is a lock, man.
Huh?
I feel like this is a lock. Like, if he doesn't, the Nuggets probably lose this game. Right?
Throwing some big money around on this one.
So,
you better be right,
I'm really big on that one.
Come on, that's just one unit for you.
What else we got?
That's another one we like. I mean, you could stay with if you believe that Michael Porter Jr. his points, rebounds, and assists. I mean, I'm gonna take that one at 32.5. I just feel like that's very, very easy. I haven't got over to his 3-pointers. 2.5. But they do have it at minus 180.
I hate
that's
that.
What they did. That's what they did to try to take up for it. I'm gonna stay away from that.
Yeah, it's too tough. Come on, DraftKings, just give us 3.5.
Throw us a bone, DraftKings.
Throw us a bone.
Unfortunately, they did throw us a bone. It is going to be Kyle Kuzma.
Is he going off tonight?
21.5 is his points, rebounds, and assists.
He's probably getting the start.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really rebound or assist. You can go to his points and just take that.
Oh, I can't believe you're making
13.5 is his points. Like, he's going to have to shoot. He's going to have to score. There is no LeBron James. They don't have Dennis Schroeder. He has to score for them. So that's something that I'm really big on.
Okay. Any
I
other
like
bets?
Jokic over 8.5 assists plus money.
I don't. Yeah, but he hasn't been assisting lately. I mean,
Right, but they're going to key in on him.
Yep, you did just talk about
yeah,
the
I
key
think
in.
they're
It's
gonna
not
key
like
in.
he's just going to not score and not like pass the ball.
That's a stay away from me. But if
He
you
has
guys
to do
like
something.
Alrighty. Well, this should be fun. This is a meaningful game for the Lakers, certainly. What's fun is for Denver, I feel like it's not actually that. I'm starting to look at it now. 4 seed, 5 seed. I don't know. Lakers might fall out without LeBron. They might fall out anyway, and Dallas move on up there. So I feel like from Denver's perspective, less pressure. But of course, they are on this 5-game winning streak, and I want to see if they can keep every game they keep doing this. I believe a little bit more. Tonight would go a long way for that as well.
The other thing, like regardless of how unlikely any one development is, like they are 3 games out from the best record in the league.
So crazy, man.
I think every game should just be like an excited opportunity to go win again.
And also, who knows? Maybe the Lakers fall to that play, and all of a sudden the Jazz and Suns start tanking, trying to get out. Like, crap! Why were we the 1 seed? This was so dumb.
We love this league, don't we?
We love this league. It's so smart.
This league.
All right, guys. There's about 2 minutes left in that Pelicans Golden State game that leads into Denver. So we'll let you get over there, get settled in, but we'll see you right here in the post game show right after the game. Hit the like button.